All right, if you're still working on problems in calculus on a Friday night, here's a video to help you with one of the problems. And this is going to be a calculator issue, I think, for most people. This is what I've said about there being lots of negatives running around. But this is problem number 7 from the section 4.3 homework. And reason the fundamental theorem of calculus, of course. So the answer to the question is going to be antiderivative of this expression evaluated between -3 and 4. First of all, the antiderivative of 4x squared is 4/3. My cat wants to go outside, but you have to wait. Anyway, so yeah, so 4/3 x cubed. Antiderivative of 3x is 3/2 x squared, and then antiderivative of 6 is 6x. So we should have, let me make that 3 better. We should have 4/3 x cubed minus 3/2 x squared plus 6x evaluated from -3 to 4. Notice that we can stop there and just check with the derivative. Derivative of 4/3 x cubed is definitely 4x squared. The derivative of 3/2 x squared is definitely 3x. And the derivative of 6x is definitely 6. So that is correct. And so now I have to very carefully put these numbers into the expression. When I put, I'll do this in steps. So 4/3 x cubed, when x is 4, that's 4/3 of 64. 4 cubed is 64. 3/2 of 4 squared is 3/2 of 16. Give me some more room here. And 4 times 6 is 24. So that's what I would have for just the part where I'm putting 4 and 4x in all these pieces. And notice I'm not really simplifying this as I go because I know I'm going to have something thirds here and something thirds here, something halves and something halves, and whole number and whole number. So in my mind it's easier to simplify those together than to try to simplify all of this first. Alright, so now when I put -3 in, I have to be super careful because negative numbers do all kinds of funky things. So -3 cubed is -27. -3 squared is -3 squared is +9, and 6 times -3 is -18. So again, it takes a lot of focus to make sure you get your negative signs right because we have a whole bunch of negatives, and then all of that's in parentheses. These parentheses. All right, and so the reason for leaving things unsimplified is that now I can simplify things fairly directly, and I know. And I'm not going to be able to do all of it all at once. It's easier in a calculator, of course. But so first I have 4/3 of 64, which is 256 thirds. And over here I have minus 4/3 times -27. So that's a minus, and 27 times 4 is 108. So those are the thirds that I have. That's the thirds from this and the thirds from that combined. Here I have minus 3/2 of 16, so that's -48/2. And here I have negative 27/2, but that's minus, so that'll be +27/2. So I'll have -48/2 plus +27/2. And you could do this as you go. I don't have a calculator in front of me. And then finally, the 24 minus -18. So that's 24 plus 18 is 42. And so by leaving it like that, so I'm sort of getting rid of these parentheses by combining all the terms as I go and making sure I get my minus and minus, all those guys right. But the advantage of doing that is that now I have all of, oops. Wow, that is not what I meant to do. Oh well. Anyway, so I have all of my different pieces together. So 256 plus 108 is 364 thirds. Minus 48 plus 27 is minus 21 halves. And then I have plus 42. So you could resolve that if you want I mean, you want to figure out how many, what in a third and what in a half there. But the way to simplify this part would just be to get a common denominator of 6 between these two things and figure out how many 6 those are. In fact, all three of these things. So finding out how many 6 that is, how many 6 that is, and how many 6 that is, and you'd add them all together, and it'll be something over 6. So it does take a little bit of care because there's a lot of negative signs to resolve and some fractions to resolve. The alternative is just to realize that you're going to have thirds and seconds, and so you're definitely going to have sixths in this problem. And so you could just throw all this into your calculator, just all of this at once, figure out what number that is, figure out what number this is, all the stuff in parentheses, subtract the 2, and then it'll be something 0.1666 or something like that. But because you know that's really a fraction with 6, you should be able to figure out what fraction that is out of 6. Anyway, so the challenge there is in the arithmetic. The calculus part is pretty straightforward.